Hello, I'm Otis Thomas, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Bowie State University's President's Update, keeping you and our community informed on various issues as it relates to education, technology, athletics, business, arts and sciences, and campus information. Joining us in this special edition of the President's Update is Dr. Taylor-Webb. She's the Dean for the School of Education. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Prior to this interview, we had a chance to talk about your great career. Certainly you worked very hard in the world of education, in the world of producing educators. Tell us about your school.
Certainly. The School of Education is the genesis at Bowie State. In 1865, along with starting a tradition of excellence, we started as a normal school. So we have upheld that tradition of excellence in the School of Education, and we continue to train teachers and counselors to go forth and change the world. We started as a School of Education at the beginning of this millennium, and I am the second dean to head the school.
Dean Taylor-Webb, a very powerful question. And we'll start this interview with this. Leadership, what is your definition of that word we hear all the time?
A leader is a person who is all-inclusive, who realizes that they don't make success happen, but with a team, success happens. Within our school, we have 3 departments. We have teaching, learning, and professional development. We have educational leadership, and we have counseling. So in order for the School of Education to be successful, I have to make sure I'm working collaboratively with all 3 of our departments, with every one of our faculty members, to make sure that we have the best product possible, and our product is our graduates.
What are the 3 suggestions that you would have for enrolling at Bowie State University in the School of Education and the success rate?
Realize that Bowie State University has a history of excellence. We sit in Prince George's County, but we impact the world. And we sit in a very important place. I would say that Prince George's County is the most important county in the state. And that is my personal bias, and I say that because that's where Bowie sits, and we make such a strong impact here, and we work well with the community. So understanding that we are community-based, that we do have students coming from the community and abroad, and we make sure that we train them to go back and give back to Prince George's County, to the state, to the country, and abroad. So that's one of the main purposes that we have here. What I say to do to be prepared is make sure you know your documents. Visit the website before you come. We have a dynamic website. Make sure you look at it, you know what our requirements are. Make phone calls. We are available via telephone. We are available for people to come in and visit. And that's one of the best things about our school. We are large enough to be great at what we do, but small enough to still be personal. So making sure you make that contact, that physical contact, with people within the school who can help you to guide the process, and then doing your part as a student to learn the university and learn what you must to be successful.
When you travel around the world and you counsel and you visit schools, what are some of the things that you see that you realize need change today to make it a better environment for students of all levels?
We need to remember that there is hope. I think that we have a large spirit of apathy now, that people are feeling that there isn't any hope, that things are so bad, that things won't change, but realizing that there is hope. And one of the ways to make sure that you change your life is through education. And I would love for people to have that education at Bowie State University, specifically in the School of Education. So not giving up and not allowing yourself to be filled with despair, but knowing that my life makes a difference. I'm here for a reason. Everyone has a purpose, and it's my charge to fulfill the purpose that's within my life and change the world.
Let's talk about you. What our viewers see is a very powerful, very polished woman in a very serious industry and a demanding industry called education. How hard was it for you to get to this level? And how difficult was it?
I would say it was something between very difficult and doable. It wasn't impossible. I never saw my dream as impossible. I was very fortunate to know at a very, very early age that I wanted to be a teacher. So that helped a lot, having that focus from the time that I was a small child, playing school and wanting to be a teacher, and making sure that even as a child I did what I could by practicing reading to my dolls, or practicing what I didn't know then that I know now is what would my ideology be and what would my teaching philosophy be. I was actually practicing it as a very small person, a very young person. So having that desire at a very young age was helpful. Having parents who made sure that we were educated, and there are 9 of us, and it was not easy for my parents. They grew up during the Great Depression. I am a first-generation college student, and I knew that it was possible because my parents told me it was so. So they made sure that we were qualified to do whatever we wanted to do. And that was their desire, to make sure we could make our dreams come true, whatever they were. So my parents worked really hard. So from a very early age, I had a very strong work ethic. So I understood that even if it didn't go the way I wanted in the beginning, even if it didn't seem possible, it would be. And one of the things I learned specifically from my mother, if there isn't a way, make one. And my father used to stress all the time, never be satisfied. And with those two philosophies, I use those to guide me and to get me to where I am now. And specifically just having a strong belief in who I am and whose I am, and having, for me, a strong faith system, but specifically having a dedication to success and making sure that I made that happen, because for me, success wasn't just about me. I knew that if I succeeded, I could help my younger brothers to succeed, I could help my nieces and nephews to succeed, I could help the students I work with to succeed. So for me, commitment was not at all a selfish motivation. I knew that I didn't have a choice because I had people coming after me who would need to have the path already blazed to make sure they knew what direction to go in. So I took that as a huge responsibility, and I could not accept failure.
What is your success rate for graduation?
We have our students enter our program and finish our program, so I'm very happy about that. From undergraduate to graduate, and when I think specifically about our doctoral program, because not everybody's coming to be an entry-level teacher. Some people want to come back and move into administration. All of our students who are finishing our doctoral program, who have to do the exit exams, we have a 100% success rate. We have at least an 80% success rate with Praxis, which is our exam for our undergraduate students, and our master's students. So they're all leaving very qualified to do what they do. And we make sure that they have training in the classroom. For our undergraduate students, we have a Praxis lab. So what they're not getting from their professors in the classroom, they can use extra time in the Praxis lab. We have workshops for students. We have ongoing training. We make sure that professors stay at conferences, that they stay qualified, that they are continuously publishing. And specifically, our professors are really good with writing grants and making sure that they're bringing money into the institution to continue their work. Because every professor has a different passion. And while we are a school of education, we have multiple disciplines. And sometimes the resources are limited. So I am very fortunate to have a faculty who apply for grants. I was just talking to one this morning who, in his tenure at Bowie State, has already brought in $700,000 in grant funds. And that's just one professor. And we have multiple professors who are bringing in grants along those same lines. And those grants are to help students with certification, to help make sure we're bringing in underrepresented populations to get degrees. So they run the gamut in the types of grants we're bringing in. So professors are just that committed that if we don't have the resources, it goes back to my mother saying, if there isn't a way, make one. So if we don't have the resources within our budget, they find grants. They find ways to connect with the community, to have partnerships to make sure that we're ensuring success for our students.
Dean, thank you for joining us
Sure.
on the President's Update. But before we leave, your phone number for more information.
Absolutely. The School of Education is 301-860-3230.
And thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this special edition of Bowie State University's President's Update. I'm Otis Thomas. Have a nice day.